Sorry.
It's okay, we're not in a rush.
Okay, Vanessa,
Here.
Fred, President Rachel,
Here.
Brooke is absent but coming, I'm here, Valerie,
And I'm here.
no quorum.
Okay, agenda amendments and approval of the agenda. Is there any changes that need to be done to
I'm still
the?
gonna add one small thing to the agenda.
Okay.
We also need to, sorry, Fred, go ahead. Sorry. Rachel had mentioned kind of in our meeting yesterday about a set of rules.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind having her talk for just like 2-3 minutes about it, just to
Sure.
get it on her.
That'd be fine.
Is that a separate item
Just we can
then?
talk
Or we can do it
about.
under new business?
Yeah,
We also need to add to approval of minutes, the minutes from the December 15th, or December 11th.
December 11th,
yeah.
yeah, that can be under item 3.
Mhm.
And then I think we should probably, we have 2 items labeled director's report, item 6 and item 7. Maybe we should retitle item 6 to proposed resolutions or something like that, or do you
Yes.
care? Okay. Proposed resolutions.
Okay. So we're gonna add those 3 items. Is there a motion to approve adding these 3 items?
I make a motion to approve the minutes with the,
Oh, no, we're on approval agenda.
oh, sorry, I mean the approval of the agenda as
Amended.
amended.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Approval of the minutes. Let's go December 11th, 2025.
That was the long set of minutes from
Yes, it
the
was.
meeting back in December. Pager.
So we're not doing the one from January 15th?
We're doing both.
Okay.
2 sets of minutes, because we never did it on January 15th. We didn't do
Gotcha.
December minutes.
Where's the other one at?
It's in, that one's in the packet. The January 15th ones are in the packet. The December 11th are hard copies.
That's what it was printed out.
Yeah.
That way you can review it if you need
I have
to.
my hand on it.
Well, I see it's December 11th, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I sent them out to everybody, but it's been a while. It's been a minute.
I did read the 15th, but I didn't read the 11th.
Right.
Has everybody had a chance to review December 11th?
I think it looks fine. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, Fred will make a motion to approve December 11th minutes.
I'll second it.
Vanessa second.
Seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And let's go to the approval of January 15th minutes.
Eric was late to the board meeting. He wasn't absent.
It does say, after the citizens input
I have him joining at
Got it.
5:15. Yeah, no worries. It was just a little.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from January 15th.
Okay, Rachel made the motion to approve,
I'll second.
and Fred seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Citizens input. Okay.
So here's where we'll be able to hear from our potential board candidates. So it's very informal, you don't have to make a speech or anything. But we would ask that you guys just kind of come up and introduce. We have three, which normally doesn't happen at the same time. But just come on up one at a time and stand here or adjacent and we'll just kind of talk with you for a second. Whoever wants to go first.
Did everybody sign in?
We have Ian, Amanda, and Jackie. So, whichever.
I guess I'll go first.
Please sign in. If you haven't already signed in, please sign in.
I did.
Thank you.
I'm Jackie Pyle. I have 4 kids. And at some point been in the Wheeler school system. I have 3 right now. I love our community a lot, and there's a way I could be a voice or be involved in another capacity. I think that this would be fun and a great opportunity. I'm a local realtor. You probably see my signs around. I'm sharing Jackie with Baker Homes, and we do a lot in the area. And we were at Freedom Fest this past summer, and so you can ask me more questions if you'd like, but I've never served on a board you guys before, so this would be completely brand new for me, but I'm ready to learn, and people tend to like me, and I'm friendly, and I love the Lord, so at the end of the day, like, my ethics are rested on that, and I plan to go to heaven one day, so nothing is taking me off that straight and narrow path at this point in my life, so that's just who I am. And do you guys have any questions for me, or I could ask you a lot more questions.
Are you in the city boundary, or in the city, or are you like right outside?
I am so thankful for the bus route, you guys. My address is Springfield, so I don't know if that would boot me out of here.
My address is Springfield too, but I'm in the city.
Okay, well, I'm out by the stockyards. That's where I'm at. So I come up AB, and I'm
Okay,
this western.
definitely out of the city.
Oh, definitely on the city limits for sure. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know what that is. That like
So
a dink for me?
well, not necessarily. The way the park board bylaws are written is 5 from within city limits and 2 from outside city limits, but within 5 miles of city limits and not within another city. So depending on where specifically near the stockyard you are, you may, as the crow flies, be within that 5-mile radius of one of our more southern neighborhoods. So
Okay.
there's an opportunity there if
Okay.
you are outside of the city for you to still be within certain.
I'm not trying to waste
So-
time or anything.
Oh, no worries.
Okay. So I guess that would have to be looked into, or I'd have to figure that out.
Yeah, that's an easy little.
So what other requirements, I guess, do you all have to be involved with the park board? I know there's the monthly
Show
meeting,
up.
Be willing to show up.
Showing up is the most important part at this stage.
and then just, it's once a month?
Once a month, right now we're doing double meetings temporarily because we're trying to get finance things under control and help Jason out a little bit more. So normally it's once a month, the last Thursday of the month.
Yeah, we just look for another voice. You know, the good thing about our board is we have a lot of different voices, and we speak from different places. And I think that's what really makes us unique. Not all of us are at the same place in our lives. Val's retired, some are retired.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm the only one on the board retired, aren't I?
I have little kids. Rachel has mid-sized kids, and you know,
My
Vanessa
kids
has
are just growing
grandkids.
up or just now leaving,
We got one
so.
more grandma
All
on
the
the board.
above.
Do you mind if I ask what the ages of your children are?
Sure. My oldest will be 18 in April, and he's already kind of fast routed out and man already, which is, I wasn't quite prepared for that to happen so fast. And then I have a sophomore, and then I have a 8th grader, and then a 5th grader. So, yeah, but we're all the North Intermediate, we're all, I'm here a lot.
So you use the Parks and Rec,
Yeah,
programs and stuff?
Yes, mainly for me, I would do the rec, the Pilates classes. I was trying to get involved in that, and I actually knew the instructor from working with her in the past, and of course participate in the parks that we have, in our community and things like that. And when we have events and Freedom Fest, and I try to follow the Facebook, whatever, what you guys post. But my background is I have a marketing degree from Missouri State, so anything marketing or, feedback surveys, I mean, that's kind of what I saw and made me respond, was just wanting feedback. And I'm all about trying to help in any way I can, or give a voice from where I'm at and who I am, so, yeah.
I like that.
So do you have kids in sports?
Yes, and I love it, like, our teachers are great at
Probably not
communicating.
through rec, because your kids are getting older.
Right,
Most
no,
of
not
them.
currently, not with the rec, no,
Yeah, yeah.
because they've aged out, yeah.
They've aged out of that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's so nice to meet all of you, and I will not be offended if I can't or whatever, but if I see you in the Apple Market, say hi. Thank you, guys. And do we stay? What do you guys want us
Stay
to
if you
do?
want, you don't have to.
Okay.
Your choice.
Your choice, you can get up and leave anytime you want.
Okay,
How's
okay.
that?
Feel bad about just running out the door.
Except a piece, now I'm out of here.
Peace out.
Amanda, I'll volunteer you.
Oh, thanks so much, Ben. Well, I'm sad because I had a speech prepared, but I left it at my seat since you said no speech was prepared. So nice to meet you. My name is Amanda Willard. No, I do not own the city, as you probably know. But I am a proud Willard graduate, and then went on to Drury to receive my Bachelor in Communication and then my MBA from WGU. A little bit about my family. My husband is also a high school graduate, and I have a freshman in high school who does cheer. But she was able to participate through the park services for volleyball, tumbling, and lots of other activities, including summer and schools out camps throughout the time. And then just as a citizen, I have the pleasure of going to the rec center generally about 5 days a week. I am a virtual employee, so I really see that as an additional community aspect for me, and a chance for me to engage with people face to face as well. And then from a professional standpoint, I lead Amazon's reliability, engineering, and maintenance workforce development team for a global workforce of 76,000 employees, and I directly manage 8 program managers. So we are very much strategic and planning constantly, and really looking around corners and seeing what's happening outside of the 4 walls of Amazon, and developing projects and proposals to make sure that we keep our competitive edge. So that's a little bit about my professional background, educational and personal. Let's see, I live in the city limits. I'm right off of Farm Road 88, so that's another item as well. And then I'm exploring if this is something that I would be able to actively provide value to. So, as every interview, it's really a two-way street, so I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm kind of regretful that I have not attended any other park board meetings in the past, so that's something that, as a citizen, that I have an additional accountability for as well.
That's because most people don't come.
Yeah,
in,
I didn't
so-
even know. I didn't know.
You're
So
fine.
now I know.
This
I've
is
never been in this.
proud.
I've never been in this room, so I'm like, I'm missing
That's a
out.
good thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yes, I've never been in this room.
I know that, I just learned that
recently, you guys.
So that's a little bit. I'm happy to answer any questions, Jackie. It was so nice hearing a little bit about your story as well, and understanding where your
We've
kids
served,
are.
we volunteered, the school.
That's probably that's probably where I'm like native senior at Apple Market, which is where I see everyone. So
I'm curious about what part of the park do you guys use the most, like
yeah. So
trails, like sports?
So I love the trail, and I really see the trail as what is a competitive advantage for Willard. So, specifically that it brings events in, it brings people in, and it's a destination. So I use the trail every Saturday. I run 6 miles with my dog, which is my favorite activity. Not that I don't enjoy Melissa's yoga class that I go to 3 days a week. And then I do a 15-mile bike ride on the trail every Sunday as well. So I'm an avid user of the trail. The rec center, I'm definitely avid again, I like that there's opportunity to do things and build a connection with the community right here. And then as I look long-term and I want my daughter to stay local, I think about building the park system as a destination for her family, for her friends to engage and have activities so that we don't have to drive into Springfield, or she doesn't feel like she needs to go to a bigger city like Kansas City or St. Louis to really find what she would consider home and fun and adventure. The other item I think I should call out is I often find us traveling to other cities, like Republic, for example. So when I see what they have and when I see what their property values and the businesses that they've been able to bring in, as I think about my property value and the asset that I want to pass on in my family, that's something that I would love to replicate and work harder to achieve.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Ms.
This is gonna be hard, guys.
I know.
I was gonna tell you, it's gonna be hard. We're gonna have to put all the names in the hat. Pick one.
Come on up.
Who else was next?
Come on up, and I guess that's me.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ian Powers. Let's see. Start with coming to Willard. Me and my wife, we moved back to Missouri from El Paso, Texas. That would have been 2020. So a little bit of a shock. Nice to see green again. Don't miss the humidity, but I'll take it. We've been living here, like I said, since about 2020. We have 2 kids. We have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old boy. We're expecting the little girl here probably in the next 2 weeks. If all holds true, like the other 2, she'll be early. So I'm banking on mid-February. We'll see the 3rd one. But I will kind of get into why I want to do this. I've dedicated the last 5 years of my life to opening or doing the best that I can in my part of serving the public and providing opportunities and improving opportunities for people to use their public lands. So this is right in my wheelhouse of things of interest, and I see Willard as number one, a wonderful place to live, and number 2, so much potential. Right on the cusp of what is happening to what we saw down in the South, whether we like it or not, we can acknowledge what happened in Republic, what happened in Ozark, and what's eventually going to happen here. And I would like to kind of pave the way for the ground floor of what that looks like, which is advocating for, exactly as you mentioned, advocating for trails and a robust recreation program that makes this a destination. You look at what Bentonville has done, you look at what Branson's currently trying to do, and you look at what Springfield has with the Greenway, the Ozark Greenway Association. We have the potential to tap into the folks that are out there already doing these things and tie into that and make this a wonderful, wonderful place to live, more so than it is. So I work for the United States Forest Service. I came here, I've worked on the Daniel Boone in developed recreation. I've worked on the Mark Twain for developed recreation. I work nationally now. If you saw Gordon Bloom's testimony to the House Natural Resources Committee on January 21st, I helped prepare that testimony, basically covering our developed recreation. So I work nationally for the Washington office. I was remote. I'm not remote now. I work at the Farm Service building over there off of B Highway. So I'm back into my cubicle life, but what I do is I manage the accounts for the Forest Service Caves program. I help with the Developed Recreation program, the National Visitor Use Monitoring program, and the Interpretive Services program. So I do a lot of what you would call like the business strategy for running those programs, and I try to implement that into when we see new legislation that comes out. If you're aware of the Explore Act, we are currently formulating how that works and how we're going to be implementing that from the 1 year out to the 15 and 30 year, because I want to say the earliest deliverable we had for one of those sections was back in like January, and we're well past that. So I work with the National Park Service as well as the BLM on implementing that and tracking that, and then creating something that the public can consume to see that we're actually following the legislation. So that's what I do now. I've done everything from hosed out bathrooms to fixed bridges. I was a wildland firefighter, so I got to serve in the Red Card militia. And I would say the thing that I would like to bring here are the connections that I have with the people that are around here. I'm familiar with the grants process. I know exactly what kind of federal things that we can kind of utilize and find ourselves into more money than what we can find by asking the folks that live here. And I know the people that have the technical skill to do a lot of stuff. My biggest thing that I enjoy and my passion are trails. And I know a lot of people who build trails, maintain trails. Let's see. And that's my thing. I look at this as a wonderful seed opportunity to advocate for linear parks and kind of getting our foot in the door to say that Willard's walkable now. Let's make it walkable in 30 years and see if we can keep people coming back here for that aspect. Sorry, I also drink coffee at night. And that's where this is all coming from.
Coffee at night, I can't do it, I get my 2 cups, I'm done. But
God, I could drink a pot of coffee and go right to bed.
Are you from Willard or from here originally or?
I grew up in Wentzville, Missouri, off of 70. It's about 50 miles west of St. Louis. And my wife is from, if you're familiar with Normandy, it's about 3.5 miles south of Ferguson. So met while we were at Central Missouri State. We were both in the service. So I ended up stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia, and then I went to El Paso, Texas.
What brought you here?
I got out of the service and I did what I think every other officer does is get really anxious about what the future holds when you're getting out of a stable job. And I got into manufacturing. So I worked for, if you're familiar with GenFab, it's a manufacturing right over there by FedEx and Alliance by the airport. I spent a year there and decided that that was not something that I wanted to do. And so I spent the next 8 months trying to get in with the Forest Service because I worked for the MDC before I left for the Army, and I was like, you know what, as much as I love manufacturing, I'd rather be outside and helping advocate for all of those wild spaces that we have. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
You're busy.
I'm about to be.
You got a 2-year and a 4-year-old.
And he comes into the rec center.
And one of them.
And I'm in the rec center.
Because you'll be there.
What questions do you have about us, about expectations, timelines, any questions that come to mind?
I mean, I would just love to know so much about the program as far as those, like I said, those gates, what your goals for the program in the city are inside of 5 years, all the way out to what you'd like to see in 15 to 30 years. But that'll take time and coming to these meetings, and I think this is probably the first time you guys have all seen me, but I haven't been established here long enough, and like I said, just busy with kids, and I finally got the time to say that this is something else that I'd like to help with, being local and providing what I can. So.
Are you in city limits or are you?
I am. I live right next to the post office, actually,
Oh, cool.
which is a wonderful perk when I have to sell things on
Walk here.
Marketplace.
So you're absolutely right, the city is gonna explode, 'cause they just, Rachel talked about it more than I could, but we just had let out some really big sewer contracts, which is gonna open up areas that
So I
have been
suspect
undeveloped. So that is gonna be a big explosion, it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
of course, so. And right now, we're in a money crunch, so we're over here all the time talking about the money. Talking about the money, well, how much money can we save? Where can we cut? So that's not pretty right now for us.
I heard.
But we'll get over it, we'll get it past it, so.
Of course.
So, anybody else have any questions for him?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And if you don't make it here, go for the Porter Ballers. You'd be really good on that one too. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Always use someone.
We can always need somebody, absolutely. Okay, is there anybody else? No? Okay, we're gonna go, get the minutes, citizen input, financial statements. So this is the fun part, we get to ask how much money you're spending and why.
So, we'll start with the yearly progress summary.
Okay, got it.
So we've generated 12% of our revenue for the year so far, so, right on track. As far as expenses, we're tracking at, we've only spent 3.9%, so we're off to a slow start in terms of spending, which is also very good, so not much more to mention on that.
Yeah, it's early in the year, so there's not a lot to pick over. Anybody have any questions on this page? Pardon, this is page 5.
It's still loading.
Oh, yours is still loading, okay. Like I see, we haven't got our real estate taxes all in yet, they're just slowly trickling in. Sales taxes all will come monthly.
So the difference in the financial statements kind of this time, it sounds like we're gonna do our normal, and then on top of that, we have our revenue versus expense conversation. Is that kind of what is new?
Yeah, so that's, I think, the third document in this financial report section. So basically, if you'll remember, so we basically start with the original budget, since we haven't had any amendments yet. This fourth column over here tracks the fiscal activity for the year, so as you're looking at that fourth column, you can see what we've generated in revenue so far for the year. So for example, advertising, we've only generated $700, but facility income, we're at $9,000. And then what Valerie was referencing was the sales taxes and real estate tax here. Those checks come from the county. So that's kind of the best way to track the progress for our annual revenue is just that fiscal activity column. And then of course the last column is the percent remaining, which is remaining to be generated. On the bottom half of that, we have our expenses, exact same thing, start of the year, activity for the year, so we've spent $9,500 here, that's the fireworks for Freedom Fest. And then of course our biggest categories generally are salaries, and payroll taxes. So that's kind of the way that the yearly progress summary goes.
What is that shirt income for $50? What's that?
Shirt income is when we sell extra t-shirts. So for example, you sign up for a sport, you get a t-shirt as part of your sports registration, but if maybe you want to really support your child, you say, actually, can you give me an adult size shirt in that color as well so I can rep my team when I show up? Or if, some families have multiple households, so it makes sense for them to get a shirt for one household and another shirt for another household so that they don't have to send it back and forth.
Yeah.
And so we charge for those.
How much are your shirts?
Those are, I believe they're $10. We sell
That's
those for
what you sell them
$10.
for, 10.
Mhm.
And that's how much, so you make, like, it's just a wash?
No, the purchase price of those, I think it's $5.70 a shirt. So a little bit of revenue, but not a significant amount.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a shirt contract in quite a while.
Right, so we haven't seen a shirt contract because our contract doesn't, the amount of shirts that we buy per year is not high enough to meet the closed bid, sealed bid requirements. So since we raised those bid requirements.
We could review it if we
We
asked.
could review it
Okay.
if you want it.
We would like to review it.
Okay.
Not that it's gonna change anything, just review it so we can.
I have a question on overtime.
Yes.
Things like Brenda being here and the other staff that was at the December 15th, are they being paid for being here?
So our full-time staff are salaried, so no, Brenda works 47 hours, she gets paid the same amount as if she works 40 hours.
Okay.
The exception is our maintenance staff, so if they pull longer than 40 hours, like during the snow, they're overtime employees, and seasonals are overtime.
So the
employees.
overtime on here is maintenance?
Yep.
Just maintenance?
Yep.
Okay, is there any other questions on page 5 and 6? No? Okay, we'll move on to my detailed report.
So detail report, if you'll remember, detail report is expenses only between park board meetings. So this is the amount of money that we spent between January and the following meeting. So as that tracks, what you'll see is basically the month's expenses. So.
This page am I printing up my stuff?
Uh,
Okay, hold on.
If you want to turn on the monitor in front of you, it's on that as well.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yay, technology.
Yay, I get a better picture. I did print out, but I didn't print all the pages. I guess I can move over a little bit. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on my detailed report? Have you had a chance to review it?
It's not loading on this thing. It's-
Oh, here. So I
Well,
remember this
I
one.
mean, like on the,
On the pad, mine finally loaded on the pad, if
Did
I
it?
moved around, but you can see it on the monitor.
um, so the Freedom Fest deal up there, that's a done deal, right? You got the,
That is the fireworks.
yeah.
There are other expenses that are generally associated with Freedom Fest, light tower rentals, porta potty rentals, stage rental, stage delivery, the rental is free.
But that was a carryover because we did a multi-year contract with the fireworks people, is that what happened?
Yeah,
So that was already baked
Well,
in.
I didn't notice in some minutes that you guys the Board of Alders just reapproved the fireworks
Yeah, I did see
bid,
that.
which we didn't see.
well, we're under contract on that for 3 years. We just
Okay.
have to approve early pay on that.
So you have to reapprove it each year, the Board of Alders has to reapprove it each year, even though you're under contract?
They approve the early pay of the contract. So there's
Okay, I thought it was
a
the,
extra product if we pay early.
okay.
That's where Sam presented it to the Board of Alders and said,
Correct.
What do we get extra?
they said that we could renew early and save
Literally
money,
an
so
extra
can
day.
we?
It's-
Literally an extra day.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it is,
Wow.
it's a percentage of product, so, we're paying $9,500, and if we were going to get 100% product, we'd get 115% product, or 112% product, depending on how early, so. It's not,
That's a good thing.
yeah,
One more bang, one less bang.
Quick anthem or something.
One less bang for Ainsley.
yeah,
Thanks a lot.
I know she loves them.
So much. So I have a question on the shirts.
Yes,
So I know we kind of talked about the land, what is it called?
Land of Frost?
Yes. So they don't essentially buy the shirts, they just give us the money for the shirts? Is that what it is? Okay.
Yep. They give us a $6,100 contract or check to sponsor shirts, and then we buy the shirts and put their labels on them.
Okay.
And you buy the shirts for the $5, that's,
Well, yeah, plus sizes are extra, but yeah. Do you have any questions about the first page? Second page is mostly stuff that I don't really have much control
I have
over.
no control over,
Utilities,
well, unless you turn the gas off, then.
salaries, retirement.
Yep.
And then early in the year, we haven't spent much money, so there's not much to review there.
That's good.
Good.
Okay? The third item is the item that Fred referenced, which is our tentative expense review. So it's rough calculating.
For just February.
This will be for February, correct? And again, the large chunks are salaries.
You got repair and maintenance, are we,
Shirts.
repair and maintenance, 5,000 for
we got planning a project. in
February alone?
So the main pool circulation pump, Rachel, this is what you asked about last night. The main pool circulation pump, inside the volute of that is a multi-fin turbine, and it has some severe cavitation damage. So we're gonna have to replace that turbine, and it's gonna be about $3,400 or so, but I rounded up just to make the math easy on it, so. And then the main circulation cutoff valve is currently stuck. Fortunately, it's stuck open, that works for circulating, but being stuck open doesn't work for backwashing and chemical control. So the guys are in the middle of disassembling that and troubleshooting it, and there may be some replacement parts needed for that. So we're tackling that early so that hopefully by warm weather time, we'll be able to have the pool operational as planned.
Can you test it without water in the pool?
No, but so basically it's a butterfly valve that is gear activated, and it got to the point where even with a cheater bar, we couldn't get the crank to turn. So
So you'll be able to test that.
yeah, as long as we can get it to open and close, it'll be golden.
The sports shirts, $1,700 at $5 a piece?
Yes, so that will be the soccer order, which is about 270 kids. So
Is that how many got signed up now, or?
right now we have 55 signed up, but our
270 is what you had last year?
Yeah.
or- Okay.
yep. Spring season's between 250 and 280 kids.
Okay, and you don't just order the 270, you wait till you know how many?
No, yeah, as soon as registration closes and we know how many kids we have, we order shirts for those kids sized according to the registration.
So the number at the bottom, I guess seeing not this number, but the next page, the total loss. That's how much, is this a number we should expect every month?
No, what you're seeing there is winter revenue.
Okay.
Obviously, when the pool is open, making $1,500 to $1,800 a day. What the revenue there is lower because winter is our slower season, so.
I'm trying to place it in my mind and think summer, happy thoughts.
This is a bad.
50,000 surplus.
Yeah.
This is a
whatever.
bad We had some expenses and we were in our lowest incomes.
Is there a way to subcategorize this? So we know what is being applied to what?
So, split that out even further, so rather than just be, like, for example, on the expenses, so, let's take the,
Like break down each.
like the repairs and maintenance,
Dollar items.
Yeah.
because we know we're gonna spend $3,500 on a turbine, break that out as $3,500 on a turbine. Is that what you mean?
Sure, but I'm just thinking like, your fitness center, like the items like for, okay, soccer, we have a soccer category.
Yeah.
Your supplies for the actual pool versus the fitness center. Kind of breakdowns of those.
Get an idea how much each one is losing money.
Yeah.
Or gaining money. Like, so if we're gonna look at our percentages of reclaiming a certain percentage of revenue, I'd like to know, like, youth camp is, I have a line here, what percentage, you know? Because like, we're just seeing numbers, we're not seeing the actual percentage of.
Yeah, and I'm not, and it's very, I guess, generic, so I don't know the breakdowns. I just want to see more of the breakdowns.
So, for example, like, here, supplies youth program,
Yeah, so then we can see, okay, the expenses, the revenue, okay, that's a subcategory, right? So your camp
So-
camp expenses,
pair them within this, within the projected expenses and revenues as a group, a pair, a grouping?
yes.
Yes.
So the line for income and expense for each of the line items, youth program, income expenses, et cetera.
Yeah, I can do that.
I
As
mean, month
Fred,
by month, it may not be.
yeah. So as Fred noted, you know, looking at the bottom here, that's not really a very reliable way to do cost recovery estimates because, for example, we're spending $5,000 on pool repairs and we're doing $0 in pool revenue in February, so.
And we'll see that throughout the year, but
Right.
if there's still, each month, we see that throughout the whole year, then we can see,
Yeah, the
okay,
percentage will
Yeah, you
change.
see that too.
yeah, the percentages will change. And we know like, right now, nothing's coming in for the pool, but as the year goes on, we'll see that the numbers change, so then we can decide, okay, what do we need to change here?
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
I mean, some of it you already got, I mean, it's just a
Yeah.
matter of grouping it differently. Like you've got swimming pool income, $250, I don't know what that is.
I think
Somebody
we-
rented a pad or something, but then if you had it on the same line, you could see the income and
This
expense.
is good, this is a good start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Okay, I have another question on this. You have your vehicle lease expenses down at 2625. Okay? For the month, on the very first
Oh,
page.
first, yeah, I see it.
Expect-
2625.
Yeah, 2625, where if you take your $63,000 you pay out, that equals to $5,250 a month.
Yeah.
And you didn't make a payment in January, or there's no payment noted
You're
in
referring
this
back to something
spreadsheet.
else. You're referring back to the,
The spreadsheet here, yes.
yeah.
What was paid out for last month, there was no payment on that, so, I mean, you pay that monthly, right? It should be $52.50 each month.
Yes,
Unless you got rid of a vehicle and it's not quite as expensive.
that is not what happened.
You didn't get rid of a vehicle?
No.
You didn't get a vehicle lease taken down from $63,000?
No, that's probably an oversight.
Yeah. And like I said, I didn't see a payment in this last month. Well, of course, this is February, this is not the end of the month, so never mind on that one. Yeah, because the detailed report only goes to, what, today, February 5th, so it's not on there yet, that's why it's not there. Okay, anybody have any other questions on,
I'll make a motion to approve the financials.
okay, Fred made the motion to approve the financial statements, is there a second?
I'll second.
Craig seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're gonna go proposed resolutions, number 6.
All right, so, this may be, a little, it's novel, so it may not be as smooth as we'd like it to be, so, this is a resolution for the park board to, recommend the Board of Aldermen approve our cost recovery metrics. That is the handout that I gave earlier. This is what was discussed last month.
The pyramid one,
Do what?
the pyramid one,
Yes, this one just doesn't have the pyramid anymore.
it's not today. It's that pyramid from a couple times ago.
I don't think Rachel is here.
Yeah, so,
It's this handout.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you
Oh.
should have a copy.
Do you have that, Jason?
It's
Do you have the
Just
chicken
put
bowl?
that one, I think.
It's the one he gave me,
Sounds like there's.
this one. You have
yeah, that's
the
one
cost
that-
recovery metrics
I was
plan.
thinking of a different document.
It's
But
the,
yeah, he did give it to us last time, but this is his
Yeah.
new,
Yeah, last time it included the pyramid stuff.
it's
this
the
is
high
making
pressure.
it ours.
Yeah, it's not what that looked
Yeah, yeah, it was in the
Are
packet.
you young with push peppers?
good today.
So these are things you're gonna bring to the Board of Alders next meeting or something? Is that the idea here?
Yeah, this is what I would like the park board to recommend that we bring to the alders as our cost recovery goals as they apply to national metrics from National Parks and Rec Association and the Government Finance Accounting Office.
I
So,
like that you take the high side of the target range.
yeah, we're shooting to be as close to what is national top end metric recovery, but also realistic in our first iteration of this. So,
Yeah, don't overpromise.
Are we gonna be approving each program?
what do you mean approving each program?
So
Do we
we
need a
need to
motion?
know ahead of time what the percentage is gonna be that you estimate. We'll say soccer, for example, you estimate soccer is gonna be an 85% recovery rate.
Mm-hmm.
We vote on it as a board and say, stamp of approval, yes, move forward with it. Is that the expectation?
That's a great question for the board to answer.
Well, I think if we had a motion on item 6A, that
Do
would
we
cover.
need to, as an alderman, do we need to approve this?
I don't know. I am not certain what the alders hope to see from the park board in terms of direction given. I know that we do need more direction. So,
I guess the question is, so that is actually one of the things that I wanted to discuss in the new business was looking at the bylaws and responsibilities. But as an alder, I think that the budget is given and it's just, could we stay within this budget? I mean, granted, we're not gonna be like, no, you can't have anything from the general fund transferred, but we just wanna see action improving the budget.
sure.
So I think as alders, we just wanna see the action of it. And I don't think we don't necessarily need to approve every single, this is great for us,
Sure.
right? But I don't know if the alders really need to approve that, but I could be wrong.
We can say, we just show that this is where we're going with it. They don't have to approve it per se, but they can
Well, some of
review.
it they're gonna have to, I mean, the proposed
They don't know.
tax.
It'd be nice
sales
to
tax.
Sales tax they would have to do.
It'd be
but
nice to
they
have
yes,
them
They wouldn't look
sign
at,
off on it.
they wouldn't look at concession pricing and
It's
approve
kind of a
that.
mixed message, because we're getting told we need to do things and have the Board of Alders look at it, let's give it to them.
So one of the things that
Yeah, I agree, Craig.
I understood from the joint park board, Board of Alders meeting was that we needed to be approving or reviewing our programs based on a set of metrics, and there weren't a clear set of metrics. So this is to establish how we will review our programs for either cost recovery or participant satisfaction. Really setting some sort of goal for the Parks Department to target, because our current goals are provide programs to the community, and the feedback that we're receiving is some of these programs aren't really worth providing to the community the way you're doing it. So I'm just seeking clarity on a tool to use to evaluate which programs we decide this program we need to keep offering because of either it meets a cost recovery goal, or it meets a participant satisfaction goal, or it meets a community good goal. And without a set of metrics, I don't know how to direct the staff to say, this program we need to make sure we keep 100%. So that's the only reason that the metrics are in there, is just so that I have a target that says, this is what you need to do. Do this, because,
And honestly, for us too, we can use that as a tool, not against you, but to hold you accountable, to say, we have it approved, or we have this signed off, and you have to meet this 85%.
Sure.
Do what you can to make that, so it kind of, it gives you the guidance that you are seeking.
So, I mean, I'll defer to the board because.
Well, I think you want us to approve.
But I think we want to just approve it as this. I don't think we need to like go through and approve youth soccer, youth baseball.
No.
Can we just approve what he's put
No,
here?
we already did that last
The
month.
question is, does it need to go to the Board of Aldermen to have them approve all the same stuff?
What I've got it for the board is they want our recommendations in writing to them.
Yeah, which
Which
is
is
what
what this
he's
is.
done, right?
So, right.
So-
Yeah, so I think the only thing that we
So
really,
wouldn't the alders like to see this and go through it?
I mean, I'm sure that they would like to see this, but if we want to prove it to show them, I just don't think that, the thing is, we just wanted to stay within budget. That, I think we're just given an amount, stay within this budget, do what you want with this money, just stay within the budget. I think that's what the aldermen just want, is just stay within the budget. I mean,
so so A would be just for us, basically, to help guide him.
yes.
Okay, so this would be just for the board.
But he could tell the Board of Alders that
Yeah, I
this is what
mean,
we've
yeah,
done.
they would be
right.
happy
Yes,
to
right.
see this, because that is,
I think that would be important.
but I don't necessarily think that they need to approve it.
I agree.
But-
Them? No, I don't think that. Are you talking about the Board of Alders? Approve it? No, I don't think so. Until we get down to maybe, let's see, C, or D. Okay,
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean,
so let's do each one of these one at a time. A, we're gonna say this is for board, and if we agreed on this, then it gives him some direction.
so we need a motion.
So we need a motion and a
Go
vote,
to
so.
the-
And a
give
vote.
Jason-
on item 6A.
Agenda.
Okay.
And then there's resolutions. Yes.
That's on A. Does everybody agree with that?
Resolution.
I think that would be best, that way
Okay.
each item
Then you can
is,
click on
Yeah,
The draft.
sorry, I
Draft.
thought you were still looking at this.
Okay, so does everybody agree on the resolution for this cost recovery metrics?
Yeah.
And if so, I want a motion to approve that for Jason.
We agree to use it to.
He's gonna use it to help guide him on the cost recovery. Like we did. And you know what, we can always just, if we don't like the way it's working, we can always change
I
it.
personally don't like it.
So,
It's too big, we're too small.
What's that? What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's for a big city, with much more problems than we have.
So what would you adjust on here?
Percentage wise.
I think there's going to be a lot of, honestly, gut feelings and, what the community wants, information from the community, as opposed to, black and white, you know? That's just my thought. I think this is too much, it's too heavy for Willard.
So one of the main points of feedback that we got in the last 3 or 4 meetings with Jason and Stacy was that they felt there was a lack of leadership on the park board and that they don't know the rules that they need to follow.
I
And
agree with
for-
that.
For
too.
this is like us setting a baseline and saying, okay, I know you guys have to do stuff for the whole year, and instead of kicking the can down the road, this is a starting point.
Yeah.
You don't have to vote for it.
I know, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just one
You don't
person,
always have
and it's
to,
just
yeah.
my thought, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know, the board never has to 100% agree.
Right, and I agree with that. We
Okay.
can agree to disagree.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
What kind of metrics are you envisioning, I
Well,
guess?
I'm
Yeah, that's the
thinking
next
more, I'd like to know what the community wants. I'd like some sort of baseline. Where's the baseline? Like, from 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, what did the Parks and Rec do? And then how did we grow from there? And I just would like to see this nice little pyramid and nothing, to me, this feels very black and white. It feels like, oh God, if Jason doesn't get there, then we're in trouble, you know, kind of thing. It feels very, you know, and
That's very
if
generic.
this program didn't work 5 years ago and we let it go, then times have changed. Maybe we'll try it again, you know, but in this, we can't try it again. It's
No,
done.
I don't think
you know?
that's the case. I think right now, we're just looking at the best way to operate so we're not losing, like we're
You know,
cutting that
Some
deficit.
guidelines.
Some
These are
guidelines and cutting
targets.
that deficit.
Yeah.
We may
These
next
are
year
targets.
come back and do a whole different type of guide if this works. If it doesn't work, we can always change it.
Well, one thing I can agree with you guys with is that there needs to be some sort of bottom line, some kind of, yeah, I agree.
It's kind of what we're
Right.
kind of.
But also, we're saying this is a target, right? So if Jason came and said, youth soccer really made it to, which it won't, but 84%, we can say, that's great, because we can say, as a board, we don't want to cut it because it didn't make the 85%, right? That's what, these metrics are like a guideline, but not necessarily like a black and white, we cut it if it doesn't hit this percentage.
Yeah, and it gives them some guardrails along the path to say like, great, baseball, kids love it, it loses $50,000 a year. Obviously, it doesn't matter if the kids love it, if it's losing $50,000 a year, probably needs to go away. But if we apply these guidelines and we say like, great, it hit 80% cost recovery, parent feedback was great, then the board can say,
We're gonna
you know what,
hit
let's hold the line on baseball, even though it didn't hit this goal, because the community good portion of that equation outweighed
The cost
Or
the cost
if something's really
revenue analysis.
underperforming, we've got an idea what we're shooting for.
Right.
Do you feel like you overshot any of these targets too much?
I feel
That would be
like,
my only question before we vote. Like, before we say this is what we want to set up, because I know you feel pressure to have metrics, but also like, when we saw that pyramid that you brought to us, there are a lot of things in parks that are not gonna make
Sure.
money. And so I don't
So-
wanna set us up, I think that's what you're saying, like, we
Yeah.
don't wanna set up for failure of
Exactly.
things that benefit our community. I get that there's a budget, I get that we need to do it, but I don't think we need to, I don't wanna put at risk programs
right.
because you feel pressured by a percentage.
A great example of that would be in the special events category line, the community benefit. We have some special events, like trunk or treat, Christmas on the Frisco, that do hit that 15% cost recovery goal, and we're like, great, it's a parade, it gets community out, it gets community active, it gets everybody together. Freedom Fest is one that's not gonna hit that 15% metric, because there's no, we don't have an event venue to be able to capture that. But the community good side of that is, we're bringing 8, 10, 12,000 people into town that normally wouldn't be here, so we, as a board, get to look at it and go, well, we miss the revenue metric, but the community good side of that equation, we're gonna go ahead and say, Jason, do Freedom Fest in '27 also, even though it was a loss leader in the parks program. So this just kind of gives, like, when we're setting our fees and charges, when we're looking at staff hours, when, you know, it gives us a target to shoot for, and we may be wide right on it, but it gives us goals that we can say like, okay, great, now that I have a goal, let's do it, as opposed to, you know, not, you know, knowing that we need to do better, but not knowing
How?
what better
Yeah, I get that.
is to third party. So, that,
So could we approve this in a way of like, we're trying it out? And if we can make this a living document that we
Yes.
adjust as we see as we go through?
Yes.
That's kind of how I would see it, as something to give us a metric. And if the board of aldermen don't need to like lock it into stone, then I think it's great if we can use it as a way to evaluate programs, but not necessarily like live and die off of these percentages.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Do I hear a motion?
Does that,
Yes.
Vanessa, does that help you
Yeah,
feel?
yeah,
Because I see what you're saying and I agree with you on that. And I know we need something,
Mhm.
but I feel like if we can do it in a way that gives us.
I agree that we need a starting point.
Yeah.
We absolutely do. But I just, yeah, I didn't wanna fail too badly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Well, we're kind of a bunch of
Same.
stuff that's gonna
Yeah.
hurt our community.
yeah.
So,
All right.
okay, sorry, I
Ready to move
cut
on?
him off.
Rick, you wanna make a motion?
I know Rachel would
Well-
like to keep us to like 5 minutes, people talking about.
Okay,
finances.
I'll make a motion that we set these
Okay.
metrics
I'll
with
second.
flexibility. As a starting point. How about that, as a starting point?
Yes. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Fred seconded, all in favor?
Right.
Okay. So now the resolution for, member and non-member rate structure.
this is very similar to this. Like I said at the start of the last one, it's gonna be a little bit clunky at first as we get used to trying to figure out what we want. Again, this is just you stating that you've given me the authority to set member and non-member rates. The
Well,
board may not, the board of alders may not need to approve it and do that, but
They may
it
not.
does give me a, you know,
you
in
know,
case there's a why are you doing this?
you
but-
handed this out last month, right? When the notice was back? So, did anybody notice the pricing for Nixa?
Yeah, we talked about it.
We did.
Yeah, about how they live, how they go by the zip, we talked about it, but how they go by the zip code.
But we don't do that because Willard is, that's what Jason was talking about.
He did talk about
He
it.
talked about the zip codes, that it's much
Okay,
different
Just
here
trying
than
to
Nick.
refresh my
Yeah.
memory on
Yeah.
that.
I think it's in the minutes, actually.
Okay.
So just so I'm clear on what it means to be a member and
It would be
Are we
difficult,
talking
yeah,
about
because
a member of
I'm
the
seeing my
fitness
zip
center?
code 6583.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what you're saying,
Is
there's
that
so many,
in
whereas
here?
Nick's had like, they could do it by,
Yeah,
There's two
okay,
ones
I
or
just wanted to
something.
refresh
I see
refresh
that.
my
Well,
memory on that.
In
because-
fact, I actually clarified that with Jason to write the minutes because
Okay,
it's
good.
specifically not tied to your zip code.
yeah.
Okay,
We're
good,
not tying-
okay.
We're tying it to the rec center.
Recreation center membership.
Yeah.
It's a
Sounds good.
membership fee. Right.
Yep, I knew we agreed on that last month, you know, so.
Yep.
Okay, do you want a motion and approval of this, or we already
Yes,
approved that
please.
last meeting?
This is to establish that you did in fact approve it.
So you're putting this in writing to the
Well,
board?
we did approve it last
Correct.
meeting.
Yes.
That's right, we're just approving him putting it in writing.
Okay. I mean, we're not gonna have the Board of Aldermen try to approve it, right? Or are we, or? I'm
We don't know, but
confused.
he's gonna take them all to him and let them decide.
Sure.
Yeah, it's in our minutes, so I guess we don't need to approve that one, right? Or do you want it separate? Do you want it separate? Why don't you, in the back row, tell us what you want us to do for the Board of Alder?
Well, I think the Board of Alders just wants to see some action and recommendations, so.
Okay, so
I
he's
think
written
Jason
these
could
up,
probably-
he's written these up into resolutions. Do you want us to sign those and send them to the board? Is
I
that-
think Jason is perfectly capable of presenting the recommendations to the board as kind of.
Okay, because he's got them set up for us to sign them, which we can.
I don't think there's an ordinance that requires them to approve free
I
fee
don't think
structures.
so.
I think it's just kind of like a business decision that you guys are making as a group. And he's vetting them out, kind of like I would with the Board of Alders. He's vetting it out with you guys. You tell him this is a bad idea, good idea, concerns, no concerns, lock it into stone. And then when the board next asks him, okay, Jason, what's the plan? Parks Board has recommended these changes and we've executed them as of whatever date and gives him some feedback. I
Okay,
think that's generally what they're looking for, is just some kind of action.
okay.
Okay.
All right, so we've already done that one, so now we
Six
went,
D was already moved and approved last meeting.
the resolution for the park board, approved the concessions pricing, we did that one last month.
That was done last month as well.
Uh-huh. It's in the minutes.
Yep.
Resolution of the park board, recommend the board of alders place a 1/4 cent sales tax on the April 2027 ballot.
That will.
Will sunset,
No, that will
with
need
a
to go.
25-year sunset?
Is there any notion of how much income that will generate? I'd ask about that at some point, and
So
do we have any idea?
it should generate about $250,000 a year based on the current
Sales
quarter
tax.
cent sales tax that we have.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's kind of in line with what I was thinking.
Still won't cover the budget, but it'll get it closer. And if we can get some of these,
It'll cover the shortfall, won't it?
not all of it,
Some of it.
some of it,
Some of it.
get them
We'll get closer.
Mhm.
It'll be closer, and if we keep working on things that we cut, then we'll get it. We'll get there.
Or making revenue.
I start making more revenue.
So.
If it doesn't cover the shortfall, should you make it a half cent?
So where's the wording and stuff gonna be developed? Like, obviously, this is not what's gonna be on the ballot.
Right, so, first step is a recommendation from the park board to put it on the alder, put it to the alders. Then, the language will be developed with legal counsel to make sure that we're dotting all our Ts and crossing all our Is to present something that is both, that is a legal ballot measure, so.
You know, they could make it larger than a 1/4 cent.
I'm
if they
good with
wanted
a
to.
1/4 cent. I mean, it's, $100, on a $100 purchase, that's an extra 25 cents.
Is that what's left
Yes.
of the 1/4 cent, is that's what's left?
That's
So
all we
we
can do,
couldn't
in
go
other
any
words.
fur- we couldn't go any higher?
I believe not.
I think there's a legal limit to what we can.
No, is that,
I think there's a
Wes, is that-
West side, right?
Wes, is
Wes,
that right?
good thing you're here.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay out of mischief back in.
I saw you.
1/4 cent is all we can
I
ask for.
think that there's a half cent, but I think we would only have 1/4 cent. I think the other 1/4 cent is specific. So you're talking about a general, basically a general increase, so we'd be a 1/4. Of course, that means that if that's the recommendation and something really bad happens that the city needs to do something with or get like a stop on to fix something, we won't have that option. That's tapped out then. So that's part of your consideration is, do we want to use our reserve option now for keeping some programs going? Do we want to say that in case something falls apart? My recommendation to the board would be very considerate about that.
So the way that I would like to see the tax added is as an operations tax. So it covers the cost of operating a parks department, not for capital improvements. We do have a capital improvement infrastructure tax on the books already. We have our general city tax on the books. This would be solely and clearly designated to operations of parks. So that would be my recommendation. If everything goes as we are planning it to go, businesses will start dropping into Willard. It will increase the breadth of our tax base, so that 1/4 cent sales tax that would generate $250,000, we double our tax base, then it generates $500,000. And that provides the ability for that general fund tax to be reallocated back to a different use within the general fund. That would be
So
my.
what's like the tagline of this? So how would you pitch this to someone and say, it's for operations? They'll be like, what does that mean?
If I were to pitch it to the public, what I would say is this tax funds the operations of your parks department. It mows the grass, it keeps the pool full of water, it pays the staff that mow, that program, that.
Don't we already do that?
You already do that, but you're doing it from the general fund, you're doing it with general city money instead of park-specific money.
You're losing money.
if we can't stay within the budget, like if we need money from general fund at the end of the year, do we all stand on the corner with a cup asking for donations, or, I mean, they'll give it to us, right?
Who's they?
The Board of Aldermen?
I mean, I suppose they might.
Because this, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, if we just not take this quarter cent and stay in our budget as best as we can,
So,
you know?
that's an excellent point.
That does not.
I
wanna
think
try?
On the
the
fly.
Alders is gonna let the parks department, I mean, there's rules in government, we have to pay bills. So the decision becomes, before the money runs dry, do we put everything on austerity and shut it down until the money returns, aka new tax year, or do we pay bills now and keep going? Most likely they'll keep going. I think what the board wants to see, correct me if I'm wrong, is just progress. Let's keep bringing it down, because really the community at this point is choosing, do we want a park system or do we want the infrastructure? That's where the board got particularly concerned. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they're gonna just let the whole thing flounder. I think
No.
that's what caused some frustration, was mixed messaging, but the intent was clear to keep it going. Just we need to be responsible with the money that the public trusts us with.
Exactly.
I think we need a year of trying out this new method.
So the way, yeah, sorry, Frank, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, the way that the calendar falls, this would be an April of '27 tax ballot issue. So that would give us all of '26 to do the cost recovery metrics, to put the other guardrails in place to see, we could say, board, send it to the public, and we don't have to have that, we can draft the language, but we don't have to submit that to the county clerk's office until end of December of '26, if I remember
So
right.
this gives you the year, and then if we need it,
Gives us an
got it
option.
ready to drop in. And
Okay. Then I agree.
if we don't, hopefully we don't.
Vanessa, what do you think?
And if we, I mean, like, if we don't use it, it's not gonna,
So we wouldn't even necessarily have to put it on the ballot. This is just asking the board to consider putting it on the ballot as a recommendation.
But you need to get the wheels going now,
yeah,
just in case, is what I feel like.
That's great.
Because otherwise, you're gonna be screwed until '28.
right. That makes sense.
So do we need to approve it now to bring to the alders?
I would think so
That's what
too.
he's saying, because
Oh,
then they have
yeah,
to start the
I would.
language.
I think so.
I think so too.
I'll make
And
a
I
motion.
apologize, I don't know if citizen input allowed in this section. Is it? Or it's, I don't know, so it's okay if it's not.
The chair can allow
Oh, okay, yeah. So I just, and again, from afar, and I cannot read
That's
this.
okay.
But what I'm trying to understand is I understand there's a budget deficit in current state. We are gonna right-side that with metrics in 2026 for going forward. But what I think I'm missing, and what I thought I understood when I read this originally, is this would allow for additional growth and expansion of the park board. So if we, one, go with the plan that we are going to right-side the budget in 2026, this is for expansion and additional growth. Isn't that the angle that we're going after?
So this would potentially free up revenue from other sources. If we're able to right size and we get the tax, this would give us revenue in other sources. This revenue would be specifically earmarked towards the operations. The revenue that is currently nebulous, the general fund transfer that comes at the end of the year, that would be, ideally that would go away, that would go back to the general fund, that would open up other general fund activities. As the economy grows and the community commerce level grows, the amount of money that is already a parks budget revenue source would then be freed up, moved away from operations to be able to either expand capital investment or to increase programming, redevelop some of our properties. So it would give us more flexibility. If this was specifically tied to operations, it would not be able to be used for its own capital improvements, because it's specific for the operations. But the general sales use tax that the Parks Department currently receives, that is not the transfer from the general fund, would then be available to do more capital investment, if that's what the boards decided.
Thanks for the clarification.
It's a little much. It's a little much for all of us to wrap around to.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, not a big fan of adding another tax, but we can't keep spending money we don't have.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so do you guys want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Fred, you're gonna make the motion for them to consider it, right?
I'll second.
Craig seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
The resolution, okay, we're going to resolution of the park board. This is really a long meeting, guys. Normally they're not quite so
Chose
long.
the one, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But on item D, then that will have to go to the Board of Alderers.
That goes to the Board of Alders for their consideration. So this is approving the Willard Aquatic Center fees and structure, which we did last month.
Again, just put it in writing, this
So
is
that's,
it.
those are in the minutes.
Yes.
Okay, so those are in the minutes. So if they want to see them, tell them to read our minutes.
Well, didn't you?
Yeah, point of contention.
Okay, sorry, okay.
So, I do have a message from our swim coach. She reached out, she was unable to make it this evening, but she wanted me to share this bit of feedback that she had,
Okay.
which I think is a good little bit of feedback to have. If I can find my
Yeah, because
email,
I didn't
all my
see that.
multiple clicks. This is from Becca Wesley. To whom it may concern, I'd like to address the proposed price increase for families on the swim team. As the head coach, I believe I can offer some perspective that may be helpful in making an informed decision. First, I want to say how proud I am of the swim team our community has built. Over the last several years, we've grown from a team of around 30 kids with limited competitiveness into a program of roughly 150 kids that consistently win summer championships. We've come a long way, and that growth didn't happen by accident. With that in mind, I strongly hope you will consider not raising the price for families for several important reasons. One, most families have at least 2 children on the team, some have several more. Even at the current rate, the cost is already a stretch for many of them. Increasing the price would place a significant burden on these families and could result in losing them altogether. 2, our pricing is already consistent with other teams in our league, generally ranging from $100 to $120. Teams like Bolivar and Spa even have the advantage of indoor facilities, allowing them to practice rain or shine. Staying aligned with local pricing simply makes sense. 3, a higher price naturally brings higher expectations. With the size of our team, we're not able to provide a great deal of individual attention, and families understand and accept that given the value they currently receive. Raising the price would raise expectations that we realistically cannot meet within our current structure. Finally, it's important to remember the swim team already generates revenue for the city. One of the key reasons for our success is that we've been able to offer strong value to families. A price increase would almost certainly reduce participation, forcing families who look forward to this season every year to make difficult decisions not to be involved. I would hate to see that for our families and especially for the kids we've invested so much in. In closing, I understand that these decisions are complex and I truly appreciate the work you do to make our community stronger and more efficient. However, asking swim team families to shoulder additional costs does not feel like the right solution. Thank you for your time and consideration. Becca Wesley.
Okay, so what was the original fee?
The original fee in 2025 was $120 per swimmer.
That was 125.
125, thank you.
Oh, okay. I was like, what I paid that?
Except for you. You paid $125.
I paid an extra $5.
Yes, sorry, misspoke. $125 a swimmer. The proposal last meeting would have raised that to $150 per swimmer. And so, having heard Becca's feedback, and really considering that in a thoughtful way. Brenda and I visited some more over the course of the last couple of weeks to maintain that same cost recovery goal that we had, which was basically 89%. And if you'll remember right, last week we discussed, so this is what we presented last meeting, which was closed on Thursdays and starting our open swim time at 1 instead of noon, for a total reduction of hours of about 15% of our operating hours. Looking at that and kind of doing the calculus on if we're open 15% less time, will we be able to hit the aggressive revenue goal that we set for ourselves this year of $135,000 in revenue, which is $4,000 more than we hit last year. So would we be able to hit that by a reduction of service time by 15%? And that's one of those goals where we don't feel like that would be achievable. So we made some tweaks to that, and
What this is,
Yeah.
what this is, the tweaks.
No, that's the last, he
I think
emailed it
that's
to
the
us.
last
He
one.
emailed it to us.
Oh, that's one.
Yes, the one that I emailed has tweaks, yes.
I printed it out because you got the email.
Yeah, so essentially what we did was we added Thursday back to the equation, lowered the cost of swim team from 150 to 130, so a $5 increase. And essentially that maintains that 89% cost recovery goal that we had previously discussed, but gives us a better opportunity to hit the actual revenue goal on which we're basing the 89% cost recovery. So I know that we had discussed it last month, that $150 felt like a good competitive price. With the additional feedback from Becca and some of the other swim team parents, I think it would be a better compromise to reduce the fee from 150 to 130, and then open back up on Thursday. And then internally, we've been discussing some training options for our summer camp staff, to where we'll be able to staff our camp swim with certified lifeguards that already work for camp, rather than doubling up on camp supervisors having camp working and lifeguards working. We'll just certify some of our camp staff so that we have lifeguards that work for camp that can do that, and we can eliminate some of the costs that would be a double up. So I think this presents a better option for everyone, and still gives us the opportunity to hit our goals.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
That's good. I will note that, yeah, it really isn't any worse than, I mean, your numbers work out. The last proposed that we had was just over 16,000 in loss, and this is 16,500, so it's roughly the same.
Do you need a proposal?
No, I don't need we don't need to do the resolution to just, you just.
We just need to reapprove.
We need to reapprove
Yeah.
Reapprove this
the
stuff,
swim stuff, yeah.
the change of
Everyone
prices.
okay with it? Anyone not okay with it?
No, I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
Vanessa, you okay with that?
Okay.
And then we also talked about the swim team and sponsorships.
We did discuss sponsorships last night. One thing that because Ashley and I aren't as familiar with swim team as Brenda is, when I mentioned the sponsorship to Brenda this morning, she was like, well, we already put logos on the hats, on the swim caps, so there's not room for sponsorships. And
It's just it's the swim Tiger Sharks and the Diamond. But we do get all of our shirts, or we get somebody, they pay for those. We don't pay for them. I have a sponsor, $1,500 for t-shirts that we don't have to pay for it. And then all the the parent, you know, the 175 plus hours of volunteer hours that I get from the parents, so it's a lot of.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, and then you just have to tell me if I have to be quiet, but is there opportunity to have sponsors for the cabana tables?
Yes.
Yes.
That's, so, I closed that file up already, but yes, one of the things that we're doing this year is we are, doing, those tables for rent. So with the QR codes, you can rent those tables outside of the traditional party pad rentals. You can be able to just say like, you know what, I want this shade for me and my crew, and we've got it reserved, and we're not planning on doing anything with it, we're just gonna let it be. Or if you're like, just feeling generous, you can just reserve one and say it's open for the day. But yeah, that's one of the things that we're working on, is a quick QR code reservation for those that, and we'll have some sponsor opportunities available for those tables and shades.
There's also maybe sponsorship opportunity, as long as we do it safely, for the stairs as they walk up the water slide. So there can also be some signage along, you know, if you can get just look nice, and those might be. And I haven't checked recently, but like the charging ports at the park, I don't know if that's an opportunity to have some sponsorship there too. And I need to read the minutes clearly, because some of this has already been talked about, so.
I'm kind of with Amanda. I have a lot of ideas too. I've just been taking notes over here ferociously, but just in terms of like money raising, and I've done donation raising and approached businesses, and people like to give me things. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, whether or not I'll still share my ideas with you guys in an email later.
Share away.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go back to this and get this approved so we can.
Okay. I'll move to approve the revised pool fee structure as presented.
Craig made the motion to approve the revised. Is there a second?
I second.
Rick, you second?
That's Rachel, but I
Oh, Rachel,
also
sorry,
support it.
All right. I'm gonna.
Either one is good.
Yep.
I support too.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Director's report. Let's move on.
All right, director's report. Major update, Sam, our assistant director, is moving on to a different role outside of the city. She's done a great job building our marketing, building our Freedom Fest events, and she came on in 2019. She's really been a key part of our team, so we're sad to leave her, sad to lose her, but right now, remaining staff have really come together and kind of split up her duties so that we can figure out how to tackle that in the interim. Just a great example of how the team works together.
Can you say what she's doing?
She has taken a role with DMP, Digital Monitoring Products. They're a security company. She will be their training and special programs coordinator, so she'll handle a lot of their trainings and a lot of their company picnics and events and such, so.
Are they local? I don't know.
They're over by French's in the Partnership East.
Cool. Okay. Good for her.
We continue to meet with Stacy, a consultant that offered her services to help us kind of clarify and cut through some of the static for sports was our initial start, but I think after she sat down with us and kind of just said, well, sports feels like a little bit too narrow a scope for what you're trying to accomplish right now. We're going to tackle a lot of different subjects, and I think it's been very, very beneficial. So we're 75% done with those. We've got one more next week, and we'll be able to tie that off. I think it's been pretty helpful. Financial environment, we continue to be very frugal as we move through the first part of the year. Main goals are keeping the service level high and the costs low. That's really the big rocks. So.
I know there's like your little quotes at the beginning. That was appropriate, is it not?
I think so. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity.
Opportunity, absolutely.
Yeah, that guy was kind of smart.
Okay, let's move on. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
Okay, new business.
I think Rachel has some new business.
Yes, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Robert's rules, and just make sure that we are going by Robert's rules. I don't know if anyone, I mean, we're pretty much doing it, but we just need
We're
to
pretty much
be.
doing, the only thing that I don't do is I let people speak freely. I don't call on you. You don't have to get my attention and ask permission to speak.
I don't know,
That's
I've
part of
actually
Robert's
never, but I've never actually been in that, like,
Yeah.
even, we don't do that particularly, and
Yeah.
even when we did it with the band boosters, I mean, people were able to, but we were able to move it on quicker. We
Right,
just, I think,
right.
need to move things on a little quicker,
Yeah.
and maybe to put a time, so we're not here for 3 hours.
Yeah, we don't usually, but this, right now, we're having a little bit of issues, so we're taking time for everybody to totally understand. We're at an hour and a half right now, we're almost done.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean,
Okay.
even in the summertime, there's a couple times we were here for 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't like those either. Believe me.
So I think it's just making sure that we are sticking with the Robert's
Yes.
rules, and
Well, if you want to get to Robert's rules and hand them out to the board.
I actually have them, and I can make copies there,
Yes,
and
that
outlier.
would- that would be good.
And the other thing is I wanted to talk about is just our responsibilities as a park board. And I also have that in our bylaws. I think there's just some things that, that I think that we all just need to reread and just know our responsibilities as the park
Now, you
board.
got the correct bylaws.
I do.
Okay, we don't have those other boards anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, with the ones that Wesley sent out were the old bylaws. I'm just
You have
wondering,
the most current
you have
set
those
of
current
bylaws.
bylaws.
Maybe not, I
They were
have them.
revised a couple years ago, I've got it.
If you, I've got one at home too.
Okay, well, can you send it to all of us so that we can read it?
Well, everybody's got one. I didn't make you a new members package because I figured you're the board of Alder's, you should know everything there is.
Sure.
So you're one of the few I did not make one for, but I will put one together for you and I'll have the current. You want the pictures, what I do on that is I have the original ordinance setting up the board, I have the bylaws, I have mapped the parks on location, because surprisingly, there was members that didn't know where all the parks were. I have aerial views of the parks, but you've probably already seen those, you know those. So you just really need just minimum.
Well,
And then I would also
I think
say-
we just need to review the responsibilities of the park.
Okay, I bet
There are
you're
certain
certain
parts that
parts.
you.
So while I've got it in my mind, because I did go back and look, and I did not have a signed copy that we did. It was in 20,
I don't know.
almost 2 years ago.
I didn't bring it with me, I looked at it.
So I know that we signed a copy and gave it to the clerk, so I think it should be on file here.
It should have a current
In the
one,
city
but the
office.
one Wesley
So
saw.
could we get everybody, including me, a copy of
Yes.
the latest bylaws
Just
from the
email
clerk?
it out.
From the clerk,
Just make
email
sure
it
it's
out.
right
Just
here.
email it to everyone.
yeah.
And then if
I
we can-
researched it home, I do know when we did it, I just don't have a copy of it.
I have a copy, and I have a signed
Okay.
copy too.
Oh, good, okay.
So,
If you want me to scan it and send it out, I can do that.
okay.
You
If
can help
we
me.
could,
No, I didn't bring it with me, it's sitting right on my table, though, I looked at it today. No, sorry, I can make copies and send them out.
yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
And then even if we could have put on the agenda next time to discuss anything that.
Sure.
Review it.
Or I can just bring them in, I'll bring them in for next meeting, then how's that? Everybody, should-
If you want to, yeah, could you bring
Send-
copies of
yeah,
everything?
Yeah.
everybody,
send it
everybody
out
should
and
have
read
one
it.
except for you.
Okay.
And the clerk should have one for you, the correct one.
Yeah,
But I can make copies and bring them in, no big deal.
Was there a certain part you wanted us to review?
It was just more going over the responsibilities, but if I don't have the latest one, then I don't
Fred, can you
wanna.
look, do you have them right there?
This is the one that I got from Wes.
From the building.
Oh, we can tell you real quick.
They're very
Let's just
similar,
get
just
the
refers to
copy of the
committees.
right ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they haven't changed that much.
We
did
said
some
committees,
extensive-
we don't.
Yes.
We did extensive changes last time, because we
So the
got rid of all those
committees
committees and.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got rid of all the subcommittees because that just was, we talked about the same thing, you know, at the meeting. So if those have subcommittees on them, that is not, they're the old ones.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, unfinished business. And under that, A, soccer fields.
Right, so,
Okay,
9A,
9A, got it.
soccer fields.
so last week, Fred suggested that we look into some potential solutions for the Highline Soccer Complex, Highline Sports Complex, regarding some of, could we potentially sell a portion of that? Could we do something differently with it? So that piece of property is a Land and Water Conservation Fund property, so we're pretty limited on how we can mitigate costs associated with that. So currently, there's about 23 acres out there, of which we use about 7 acres for soccer, 2.5 acres for parking, and the rest of it is just open and available space. In 25, we reduced the mowing of a substantial portion of that to, we basically mowed a walking path around the outside of that, let most of the vacant and unused fields in the kind of field area in front of it grow up. Kind of without even intending to, really followed what some of the Land and Water Conservation Fund guidance is for how to minimize costs around that. So we could sell it on the condition that we replaced it with a property of equal size, dollar value, and outdoor recreational use value. So doesn't really make much sense. Wes has a statement.
Are we sure about that?
We are. I contacted the Land and Water Conservation
Okay.
Fund, and they said, this is
Because when I
what
saw that, I checked it out, and it doesn't show up on the maps. Your Parks and Rec does in another spot close to the center of town.
Yeah, so it was, it definitely is, because I have the race initial application packet binder in my
But
office.
do we
And I
have,
called the number, and yes. Yeah,
I know this in Kansas, there's usually a yearly, what you have to do.
yeah, so I called the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant manager and referenced the number of the grant, and she said, absolutely, you cannot sell that land. You can redesignate its use through a conversion, which basically it would need to remain open to the public as a outdoor recreational use property, but we wouldn't have to maintain it as soccer. But
They
we have
tell
to,
us why we don't have to renew it every year. Usually you renew those every year to re-up your commitment that you're not doing anything naughty with it.
they didn't mention that.
Okay.
So,
See what you can get from them, and then I'll.
Okay.
Why can't we sell it?
Because it was brought with grant
Oh,
money
okay,
from,
I missed
it was
that.
brought with grant money 50/50.
Yeah, those things
Conservation
tie with
Department.
some pretty stringent conditions, and you usually have to reaffirm every year that you haven't done anything naughty with it, you're still using it for what you told them you would. We have one in Kansas, so it's like 1995, and every year regular clockwork, a little green piece of paper came in, it fell out, sent it back.
So
That's why I was
we can have
wondering.
events on there.
yeah,
The reason why I say is because I emailed, not that it's gonna happen, but, maybe. I emailed, Luke Bryant to see if he will hold a, farm tour concert there.
Oh,
And believe it or not, I got an answer back. They wanted to know, where we were, and I sent them, I told them, I said, do you need, I haven't gotten an answer back on this. I said, do you need, like an okay from the mayor or the citizens or something? He's gonna be in Kansas City, July, I don't remember the exact date, like the 18th or the 8th or something. So I thought if he was here first, because prior to that Kansas City event, the next one prior to that is like June something. So I feel like there's, maybe some time.
Would there be enough parking for a venue like that?
I don't know, I
It's
just,
already
I
kind of
did, I
sterilized, yeah.
totally expected to,
You know, big old,
ignored.
you know.
you know,
Big
and,
house.
We have
yeah.
a school bus, we can bus
So-
people over there.
Hey,
That is
you know,
true.
That's not the
We
worst
got
idea.
it in school bus, we can bus them in.
Yeah, pay for it.
I don't know if you guys remember
Pay for
or
right,
even
parking
know,
is the premium.
Well, the bus
but
would-
there's a guy
That's right.
that we got for, the opening of the, farmer's market a few years back. He's saying, he lives in, Pleasant Hope, and he's a recording artist, but he's, you know, like way low on the totem pole. His name is Trent, and his dad, he cracks me up because I have his dad's phone number, and that's his manager, and I'm constantly texting him, hey, what about if Trent does this or that, or, because I really look forward to your ridiculous texts. So I asked him about that, about Luke Bryant, and he knew somebody who knew somebody. So I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but
I think you're gonna have to really deal with Jason and Wesley on that.
I think, you
Okay,
know,
and probably pretty soon.
Vanessa's really weird, and those are things that Vanessa does, so.
Okay,
I'm gonna put that as item 8B under new business to investigate a concert
well,
or something.
then yeah, 8A, because that would be, yeah, just bring that up under new business, okay? Not.
It has nothing to do with selling the soccer field.
It has nothing to do with the
Can't
soccer.
sell
So
it, but
keep
could
our
be-
thoughts on what's new business.
Did you have
and then
the-
I'll
right
put it
there.
as
Got
new
it.
business for a possible concert from,
Yeah, or a discussion.
Well, my thought was.
Just keep using them as soccer fields.
Well, I understand your soccer
Yeah.
fields, but then that goes in beyond soccer fields. Okay, is there anything
We interrupted
else?
halfway through the document. Did you have just
I had a
a?
thought on something.
What we can't do is sell it or reallocate it.
No, we can convert it to low maintenance prairie grass, do trails through it. We could,
You said we can't do trails through it?
no, we can do that.
Well, we run off the main trail.
Right. So that would essentially be similar to what we've done. And so, yeah, so that's one of the things we can do. Basically, just reduce the maintenance on it, but still leave it open to the public.
Are you leaning towards moving the soccer to Jackson then? Is that?
Well, looking at the back of Jackson Street Park, it looks like we'll have to cut down at least 3 trees to fit the soccer fields in there. Which, I mean, trees get cut down all the time. But, one thing that we would need to do is if we're going to convert that to a turf field, we would need to invest pretty heavily in root removal and laser grading and basically turning that space into field space similar to what we have currently at the soccer complex. So I don't know that
Well, Rachel had mentioned that it used to be soccer.
it did.
So maybe it's not as big of an investment as other
It
spots.
was soccer fields prior to the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant that moved the soccer fields from Jackson Street out to the highway.
And they were terrible soccer fields. Can we just
I mean,
be a little bit honest?
I wasn't-
They were terrible soccer fields. They weren't good. I mean, the ones, that's why Highline was so great, because it was like, actually like soccer fields that you weren't worried your kids were gonna break their ankles running through.
That was part
I
of
mean,
it.
I played, at that time, then we went over to the, where they are, and it was even worse.
Well, they made them better.
At that
When they
time,
first got
I mean, that
going.
was 25 years ago.
when they first got going over at Highline.
Well, no, the actual soccer fields where the high school plays now. Like,
Oh.
it was.
Oh, worse than Jackson Street.
Yes.
Not Highline.
Before.
Yeah, Highline
I
was
know
great.
it's
Jackson.
Highland.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I didn't, but my kids did, so.
But if you take the soccer fields away, then would you get in trouble for doing nothing with that?
That's why I say you'd have to make like walking
Yeah,
trails.
you have
That's
to
perfect.
still convert it
Keep it
to other
recreational.
outdoor use.
To something else.
If they mow it a few times a year, and call it good.
All right, anything else on soccer fields? Okay, so we were planning to
Bottom
meet
line.
every 2 weeks, but now we're a week behind, so is our next meeting gonna be at our regular meeting, the last Thursday of the
Hey,
month?
Jason, I think you skipped the bottom part, which was the kind of the recommendation. the bottom line. Not a financial liability because of soccer.
Yeah.
Right.
So does
Because
that
of
mean
how
we
it's
don't
being
need to move it to Jackson, the programs, or?
So, right, so the cost is gonna be the same to, I mean, what I heard last time was the mowing of the extra space was what was the financial liability. We're not doing that currently. We went away from that in '25, so we're only mowing the parking, the fields, the area around the parking, the concession stand, and then a walking trail around the outside. We're not mowing the entirety of the acreage. So options would be to, just abandon it as soccer fields and invest money somewhere else. What's other thing?
Me again, so check the paperwork. What we've done is made a tennis court, and it had to always be a tennis court. So just double check.
Okay.
If you go to LWCF grant, they usually expect you to keep it going. Just bring it out there.
So for right now, we're not doing
We're
anything.
keeping it.
We're keeping everything status quo until we figure out some more information or.
If it's gonna be too
Is
costly.
there anything with Land Water Conservation Fund that says that you can't dual enroll the land? In another program, CRP, Conservation Reserve Program, you don't know it and they pay you?
I don't know.
Another thing to consider would be you have frontage to the trail, assuming that's the same part that has frontage to the Frisco Trail.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have frontage to a very well-known recreational opportunity for biking. The next closest place to take a bike off-road would be the Springfield side, the Springfield Off-Road Bike Complex. And then the next closest place is Branson. There, I mean, I don't know, from where I sit, there's a potential there to tap into the folks that are already using the trailway. And you have parking. You could put in a relatively low-cost dirt bike park. You've got a whole lot of mulch sitting out right over there. I'm just here. I see opportunities, and that's where the things that came to my mind were, if you're not gonna do anything with the land, dual enroll it, or see about the possibility of dual enrolling it. Get paid to do nothing with it, or two, you could potentially add some kind of revenue there by a very small investment of putting in trails and telling people they can go race bikes there.
Yeah, we've been talking about a contract some months back, so that might be another opportunity.
And that's the part we don't use, is the part that's on the trail. We've used the rest of it, we don't use that part.
Springfield's putting in a pump track, so we kind of abandoned.
Yeah, that's right,
We
I understand,
understand
but
that
this is a good idea, I mean, that's
It's
another
a similar
biking
idea.
thing that we could probably put that in ourselves as a city.
There's a lot of folks with an interest in that, so maybe there's a lot of parties that I feel like would be approachable about funding that as well.
Yeah, I think it's a very good idea.
Okay, now are we done talking about this? I'm trying to move us along, so we get
I'm just
out.
gonna say for right now, status quo on soccer.
Status quo, with us, one of the things that this is, could we use those fields out there for like flag football?
We could, as long as it's not during the daylight.
As long, well, I know as long as it's during the daylight.
Yeah, I think that's a good overlap.
We need to find a grant to get us some lights out there. Never forget that city administrator that returned our money for lights. It wasn't you, I know that, but I know who it was.
Not guilty.
You're not guilty, I know that's a guilty party, I know that thing's bad. Okay, let's see, now I'm gonna go back to the question, since we're a meeting ahead, we're supposed to meet next week to do these 2 meetings a month for a little while.
I think there's a meeting already on the.
There's one for Wednesday, that's the one that we've been meeting with Stacy. So our regular meeting would be the last Thursday of this month. Is that where we're gonna have our next meeting, the last Thursday of next month? Okay, rather than one next week.
Right, rather than one next week.
Yeah, okay, so the next meeting will be the last Thursday of the month. All right, and Vanessa, you didn't bring up the Christmas stuff. You gonna put that-
No, well, it wasn't on the agenda and I didn't
Okay, we
think
get that
that we
on.
were gonna do that.
No, I think it's time to go home. That's what I think. It's time to go
Next
home.
meeting last Thursday of the month.
Last next meeting, the last Thursday of the month. Okay, is there a
Is
motion?
that gonna be at 6 o'clock like
Be
normal?
at 6
or-
o'clock normal unless we have to,
Unless-
something happens.
Okay.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
I bet she does. Well, I mean, you do a lot of meetings. You will, I want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Okay, is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Goodbye, go home.
Thank you.
I have one more.